Yo, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. You already know it's your man's brother GJ coming at y'all with this righteous, right wing, neo Afrocentrism. And I am, at least for now, the right wing neo Afrocentrist. This evening, man, we gonna get into this man, we gonna get into some real shit. We gonna get into all these missing black women and girls across the United States. As you see what this article is, this is a picture I took from an article that's been floating around. That's been in consistent circulation. You know, the article that says there are 64,000 missing black women and girls in the United States, and no one seems to care. Now, this article first, this fact or whatever, started being pushed around like 2014, 2015. It was kind of around the time when them young sisters in D.C. were missing. As of now, 2019, a lot of people say that this number is really like 75,000 missing black women and girls in the United States. Now, mind you, a lot of these women have been found. Well, I won't say a lot. You know, forgive me for that. Definitely won't say a lot, but to some degree, some of these women have been recovered alive and well, or alive and pretty shaken. If any of you guys who, you know, any of you brothers and sisters who happen to come on into this channel, if you have a loved one out there who's missing, you know, I send my condolences and I send positive energy to you. You know, this video might hurt some feelings. It might come across as insensitive, but best believe I'm all about the best interest of finding out our women and bringing them home safely. And if any harm was done to them, if their lives were taken, the bastards, the motherfuckers who done it, they should meet brutal and harsh justice. And I really mean that. So let's really get into this, man. As y'all see what the title say, man, the real reason why black women are missing, maybe I should have said children, but we're gonna focus on black women and girls on this video. The real reason why black women and girls are missing, and like I say, this might irk y'all a bit, and why they will continue to be missing. And you know what the real reason is? It's not because, like this article suggests, that the mainstream white media doesn't care and they only care about missing white females, even though that's true, but that's not the reason why they're missing and no one cares. They're missing because, like I say in all my other videos, the Black Patriarchy is non-existent in the black community. It's really not even a community. I should say in the black population cluster. Cause that's what really all it is, man. It ain't no real community for real. It's more or less a population cluster. But since everybody used to the term community, we gonna use it. Because righteous black men, keyword righteous black men, since we're not in charge of our communities, since we don't have the say-so and our authority isn't respected, this is why you have this bullshit going on. The thugs and the gangbangers, who many of you, especially you left wing, some of you left wing brothers out there, you left leaning brothers, a lot of y'all believe that these thugs can be reformed to being protectors of our community. That shit has been tried and it has failed. It hasn't worked all these years and it ain't gonna work now. I mean, in the 60s, you know, you had the different street tribes patrolling the community, looking out for weirdos, but then it just became about them selling drugs and making money and killing each other. Now the young cats out here, they can care less about watching the community. That's why in some of the most hardest communities, in the most gangsters communities, you got pedophiles and serial killers running amok. You got a gang on every corner, but you still got pedophiles and serial killers doing their dirt. Because there's no black patriarchy in the community, man. And you see, these women don't understand this. You know, they think patriarchy is evil and it's oppressive to them, but they don't realize that when good, you're going to have to bow down to a man either way it go. I'm going to just tell y'all. I know y'all ain't going to like this. You're going to have to bow down to a man either way you going to go. You know what? Either you're going to bow down to a righteous man who's going to respect and protect you, or you going to, but at the same time correct you, or you going to bow down to a wicked man who's going to misuse and abuse you for his own wicked gains. You did. Now let's go over why some of these women. Now let's go over in some of these sub reasons why a lot of these sisters are missing. One, now if you notice, a lot of these young, especially the younger ones, are runaways, and a lot of them thankfully end up being found. Like on my social media, I always get these posts. I'll be sharing these posts, you know, with missing young ladies or just missing children in general. But especially I see this with the missing young ladies. I share the post, and then somebody come on the post and say, "Hey, brother, she's been found." So I look at the post. I actually click and read the article, and I see update. Samantha Jenkins. I'm just throwing a name out there. Samantha Jenkins has been located and is safe. And I'm like, why the hell are these young girls running away from home knowing that you have all this wickedness going on? Because you want me to tell you the truth, and it's the hard cold truth. A lot of them live in toxic matriarchal households with broken ass women who hate their children, particularly their daughters, their sons too, but that's another video. But they really hate their daughters, and they in some kind of sick ass beauty contest with their daughters, and they get to the point where if they find some big dick degenerate male to come in to fulfill their sexual needs, and this is what they'll do. They'll kick the dog. It could be 12 o'clock at motherfucking night, and they'll kick the little girl out the house because they think the little girl's gonna take the attention from their man, from their dick supplier, or the degenerate male with him being the degenerate. He wants to fuck on a little girl, and the mama is cool with it. Anything to keep a man, right? Or no, let me not say that. Anything to keep a male, because they don't want a man. They want a degenerate male. You did what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people don't understand. I mean, that's what a lot of people don't want to admit. These females, they know these guys be pedophiles and down low homosexuals and all. They know that shit. But because they're sick in the head and they was raised in a vicious household like that, they think it's normal to let a motherfucker molest your children as long as he give you a little dick and some money. You did what I'm saying? They think it's all good. So these children run away from that shit and they end up in the street. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that's going on. That's why a lot of them run away and end up found, because they had to get out the household. Mama jumping on them. Mama's sick ass boyfriend trying to molest them. They can't deal with that shit, and I don't blame them. But unfortunately, they'll run away from what they say, jump out the frying pan and into the oven. You did what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna be honest, in some situations, you have these girls do come from decent homes, but there's still no strong male influence in those homes. The mother tries to be there and stuff, but you don't have no strong male influence to discipline the daughter. So she just wants to run away from home and go, and be a rambunctious teenager. So that's what's going on with these girls running away from home. But like I say, black patriarchy, it might not end it overnight, But it would definitely decrease a lot of that shit, for real, for real. All right. Another thing going on. Now we know we got these. This is why I never looked up and applied to pimps. Pimps disgust me. But you got a lot of these cats trying to be pimps, or what they call them, sex traffickers and all that, who be getting these little girls and tricking them into a lifestyle of prostitution. But you see, it ain't just them. They have women. I shouldn't call them women. They have these dirty bitches working for them. That's what we saw in the Jason Polk situation. The DJ Kid in South Carolina. He had no good Negro females who were recruiting these girls and bringing them to him. You did what I'm saying? And that's what these feminists, these black feminists, they don't want to touch that. That's what they don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about that with all this sex trafficking going on. You have willing women. I talk to survivors of sex trafficking in real time, in real life. In addition to seeing documentaries and Dateline 2020, whatever that shit called, I've seen all that shit. And these women will tell you, man, another female set me up. Another female put me out here. But these black feminists don't want to touch that. Once again, black patriarchy is a solution to that. And the lack of black patriarchy is the problem, why that exists. All right. Here's another thing. These women, now this kind of goes back to the first one with the women choosing, letting these pedophiles, turn their daughters out. These women are dealing with degenerate ass males. They're knowingly getting involved with males and females, either on some lesbian shit or on some friend girl shit, who mean them no good and who are living high risk lifestyles. When you date a so-called, what they call them, stick up kid, a jack boy who likes robbing high profile drug dealers, you put and they get your pussy wet because you think that's cool and that's tough, you putting your life in danger. You dig what I'm saying? When you decide that you want to get involved with this pimp because he's fly and he got a slick way of words, you're putting your life in danger. When you decide that you want to lie to your parents and go hang out, when you away for college and you want to lie to your parents and go hang out with the neighborhood thugs, you're putting your life in danger. Oh, and I gotta touch this. When you decide that you want to fuck with that white boy who has a sick racial slave play fetish and wants you to be his little bed wench, and he want to tie you up and call you the N-word and all that, you see, we gotta touch that. We gotta touch that. When you decide you want to sleep with a white boy who who only wants you for sexual, because there's been many cases of that. They had a case in England where a black chick started going with this, a black young lady started going with this white boy who had been, and he had a thing for hardcore racial porn, like that ghetto gag and shit, and he brutally murdered her. He mutilated her. When you decide that you wanna go swirl, this is what these swirlers don't want to talk about. This is what crystal swirls and crystal keratin and all these motherfuckers. This is what they don't want to tell you about. When you decide to fuck with women with that shit, with them white boys, that's what's gonna happen to you. When you decide to fuck with these Arabs at these gas stations, these Arabs and these Indians at these gas stations, at these hotels, when you decide to fuck with them men who come from a culture where women are to be seen and fucked and not to be heard, well, really to be unseen if you think about it, but to be fucked and not to be heard. When you fuck with these Koreans and Chinese who see black people, these Korean and Chinese and Vietnamese men who run these nail salons, giving them some pussy so you can get a discount on your nails, and they don't mind chopping black people up and chopping you up in pieces and throwing you off somewhere and feeding you to some dogs and cats, yeah, you gonna end up missing. You gonna end up on one of these posters. So we gotta talk about that. When you decide to fuck with a pastor, a pastor or a married man who has it all, who has a lot to lose and nothing to gain for fucking with you, you could possibly end up missing. But you see, nobody want to talk about that. They don't want to give a black woman accountability. They don't want to hold a black woman accountable on that. And then they want to blame black men with black men. And I'm going to get to what black men need to do, which is establish black patriarchy. But a lot of these women are putting themselves. They think that's, you see, society is misleading the woman that, hey, fucking with all these different type of men, that's how you live your goddess experience. That's how you live that's how you get your freedom. All that is a motherfucking death trap. They ain't nothing but a motherfucking death trap. You dig what I'm saying? And that's why these women fall prey to serial killers, sex traffickers, and all that. Because they're not practicing discretion. They're leading with their vagina. They're leading with lust. You know what I'm saying? They're fatally addicted to chaos and mayhem. And that's what leads to their destruction. Now, with that being said, do I say that these women deserve to die? Hell no. Not at all. But even though I don't feel like it, but guess what? I'm not the killer, though. The killer, I don't believe they deserve to die. I know they don't deserve to die. But the killer, the serial killer, whoever, Anthony Sowell, the Grim Sleeper, them type of cats, they believe they should die. You know, these women live these high-risk lifestyles. They start fucking with these drugs. And that's why a lot of them end up missing and murdered. Now, mind you, I talked about the dysfunctional homes. I talked about the sex trafficking, the low-level sex trafficking rings, and the females who be luring them into the rings. I talked about the unstable, you know, the toxic dating and mating habits of the modern day black woman. Really modern day women, period, but this video is about black women. But now y'all want to I know y'all ready for the spooky shit. Y'all ready for me to talk about the organ harvesting. Y'all ready for me to talk about the elite slave rings. But you see, here's the thing. Do I believe shit like that is happening? Of course. But here's the thing. When you have a dysfunctional community, when the righteous black man isn't in charge of his community, when mayhem and dysfunction is allowed to flourish, it can be an elite businessman with a sick a sick fetish for sex and murder, for rape and murder, or it could be a drug addicted serial killer on the low side. Either way it go, if you don't have a righteous system of patriarchy in your community, any perpetrator, regardless of his class, color, affiliations, social status, or whatever, can victimize you and get away with it. You dig what I'm saying? And get away with it. You know, that's why the righteous black men, we must take charge of our communities and lay the law down. And a lot of these women, they're far gone. You can't save them. You know, they decided despite all the shit going on, they decide that following this Luciferian concept of feminism is their best bet. So you can only start in your household and with your family. That's where it starts at. That's the solution, man. Putting this black manhood, taking the stand, and black manhood taking the stand and taking control of their communities and putting their communities on smash. That's what's gonna happen. You know, these street organizations, they ain't gonna do it. These black police officers, most of them don't even give a damn either. So righteous black men gonna have to stand up. I saw a brother say, I saw a brother put up a post. The brother said, black man, there are no police in your community, then you would have to be the police. Hell, we gotta do like that with the police in our community, because hell, a lot of police are complicit in this shit. You know, a lot of police be kidnapping and raping women and shit. You did what I'm saying? That's happened down here in Jackson, in my city. So, righteous black men, the only way we're gonna stop this, we gotta establish righteous patriarchy. You did what I'm saying? We gotta be in tune with each other. We gotta build with each other. And the women we gotta deal with, we gotta lay the law down on them. It's the only thing that's gonna save their lives. If you sisters who run across this video, please be careful. You know what I'm saying? If you got children, don't be putting that dick before your children. Now, if he a righteous man, that's a different thing. But if you on just on some sex shit, don't do that. And also let the men in your family know what you doing. Quit trying to be grown. You can't do what man do, baby. You can't do what man do. Let the men in your family know who you dealing with and all that shit. Don't be going out late at night getting drunk and getting high. Because one thing about it, Me Too can't save you from no serial killer. Me Too can't save you from a sex trafficker. Me Too can't save you from a motherfucker who got so many political and business affiliations to where they can kill your ass in broad daylight and get away with it. So that's what I'm saying with this, man. Black patriarchy is a solution. Black manhood, righteous black manhood is a solution. You did what I'm saying? That's what right-wing neo-Afrocentrism is about. We the only ones who can bring that African village back. That's why I be telling these African-centered brothers, quit goddamn doing all this goddess worshiping, black woman is God bullshit. It's going to take the black man to become righteous and to find his African self to put this motherfucking African village together. But with that being said, man, y'all like, share, subscribe. This brother GJ with another edition of right-wing neo-Afrocentrism. You did what I'm saying. I got my social media links in the description. Like, share, follow. You know, comment. Whether you agree or disagree, I do welcome opposed and viewpoints, as long as you're respectful. You know, not saying you gotta come to me on like you scared or something like that, but just be respectful. We all men. You did what I'm saying. Black power, black patriarchy. Gone.